In this video, I'm going to be showing you a card trick where a blank card is going to turn into 3 different spectator selected playing cards and then back to itself and right in front of the spectator's eyes. So let's get started. Here's the performance of the trick. I take a blank card and put it aside. This is the memory card. I then let 3 spectators select one random playing card and ask them to memorize their own selection. Then I take the cards back in the correct order from the first, second and third spectators respectively and then shuffle the deck of cards. Now while picking up the memory card, I ask the first spectator to remember his or her selection and visualize it on the blank card. And then with a flick, the card changes into the first spectator's playing card. Then I ask the second spectator to remember his or her selection and visualize the card turn into that. And with a shake, the card changes into the second spectator's playing card. I ask the third spectator to remember and visualize like the other spectators, and with a wave, the card changes into the third spectator's selection. Now I ask the spectators to stop remembering their cards and erase their cards from their heads. And with that, the card turns into the blank card it was from the very beginning. So that's the card trick, and here is how it's done. Here's a brief overview of the mechanism of the card trick. I'm going to do the explaining later, but I'm just going to show you what moves are being used and how they are being used. So at first I take the blank card, keep it aside, then 3 different spectators select one playing card each, 2, 3, 4, and let's just say from my left to right, this is the order: first person, second person and third person. Once they have done that, all I have to do is just fan the deck of cards that is in my hand and take the first card, first spectator's card, and put it near the top of the deck. Then the second spectator's card and put it near the bottom of the deck, and the third spectator's card and put it near the center of the deck. This is very important so that we end up in the order: first person's card, then the third person's card, then the second person's card, so that we can make the cards appear in the correct order we want to. Now after that we close the fan and then we do a fake control. We do a fake push in. All we do is just push these cards in and push the top card outside with our finger to make it look like that card, those 3 cards just went inside the deck. And from here, we are going to grab this edges of the card that is sticking out, which is the top card and the other 3 cards the spectator has selected. And from here, we are going to do a Hindu shuffle so that the spectator's cards ends up on the bottom of the deck. Now at this point, all I have to do is just take a break above the bottom 3 cards and then control them to the top of the deck, and you can use any kind of control that you want. And once that's done, we have ended up with all the spectator's cards on the top of the deck. Now from here, I'm going to take the blank card, and for this first spectator's card, for making this blank card or just changing this blank card into the first spectator's card, all I have to do is I have to take a break under the top card and then keep this card face up. Then pick up both cards like this, and with a flick, I can just turn these cards over, or we can also do a shake. If you cannot do the flick, we can also do, you can also do a shake and make it look like that the cards just turned over. And once you're shaking or flicking while the card is right in this hand like this, after the change, all I'm going to do is take a break under the next 2 cards because we want the second card to appear, not the third. Now once we take a break under the next 2 cards, we're going to place 2 more cards which are in our hand on top of that and pick up 4 cards again so that we can shake it and change it into the second person's card. Once we do that, once we change the card to the second person's card, we're going to go for the Houdini change, classic change, whatever. And we're going to do it in a super covered manner because we don't want the blank card to get exposed. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to just push the card forward, use our palm to bring out the third card, and then push it straight forward. We're not going to move our hand sideways, and all we have to do is just after pushing it forward, we are going to bring both these cards back so that it gets squared with the deck. Otherwise, if I move my hand from here, the blank card will be visible. So once the cards are here, I can move my hand and we end up in this position where the second card has turned into the third person's card and these three cards are face up right now. Now I'm going to take all these three cards and turn them over as one and then take a single card, and when I turn it back, it looks like that the four of diamonds changed into the blank card. So that's the mechanism of this card trick. Okay, so here is the explanation along with, like how you're going to perform this or execute this in real life. So this is that part of this video. So at first you take the blank card, or you can, if you don't have a blank card, you can use a joker. You just take that card and put it aside and tell them that this is a memory card and you're going to be using this card later for this trick. Then ask the spectators to select one random playing card and remember the order in which they took the playing card. I mean, which spectator took the card first, then who is the second one, who's the third one. You need to remember. And to make it easy, I kept it like this, 2, 3, 4. So it's easy for you to remember. This is person 1, person 2, person 3. First spectator, second, the third. The order in which you're going to be dealing the cards. I go from my left to right. You can go in any order, but you need to remember. So at this point, all I'm going to do is, once they have selected the card, the first thing that I need to do is ask them to not look at each other's card and to only focus on their card and memorize it. So this is just an important tip or a phrase that you need to say so that they're focused on their card only and they don't get diverted. And this also helps in creating the atmosphere for the card trick. So at this point, all I'm going to do is basically take the deck of cards and then make a fan. And then I'm going to return these cards in a particular order. First, I'm going to go in the same order, but in a particular arrangement, I'm going to put these cards inside. I'm going to take the first card, put it near the top. Most important part, that is the second card, I'm going to put it near the bottom. Okay, and all I'm going to do is just say, I'm going to just place the cards far apart. But in originality, all I have to do is just place the first card on top and the second card on the bottom, because we need to take the third card and put it in the center. So once we have already done that, we can just take that card and put it in the center and just tell that. So you can see we just put all these three cards at almost equivalent distance from each other, and that's that. And then all you do is close this deck of cards and do this Hindu shuffle control, what is we also know as controlling multiple playing cards. Also, there are many tutorials on the internet. You can just go and find how to control multiple cards. Whichever feels easy for you, just go with that control. You don't have to do the Hindu control anyways. Sorry, Hindu shuffle control anyways. And all I'm going to do is just push this card in and push the top card out. Make it look like that the cards are totally inside, and then strip out all the cards, the three cards and the top card from here, and do the Hindu shuffle. Make it look like that their cards are getting mixed. In reality, I already know that their cards are right now on the bottom and arranged in perfect order. Now from here, I have to control their card to the top. And I'm going to do that while having a small conversation with the spectator, so that, you can keep things entertaining, interesting, and the spectator's mind focused on what you're doing and what you're saying, because you might also sometimes need misdirections. So at this point, what I do is I spread the deck of cards, and I actually spread it in order to get a break above the bottom three cards. That's the reason why I spread the deck of cards. And while doing that, while spreading the cards, I tell them that, so you can see that of course your cards are mixed amongst these cards, and I don't know where your card is because all the cards are same from the back, and I also don't even know what your cards are. So it's pretty much a loss-loss situation for me. And when you say that, you basically spread the cards, and when you spread to the last three cards, take a break and put the rest of the cards on top and transfer the break to a thumb break, so that I can then control these three cards, which I then again dropped onto the top pack after doing the swing cut. So these three cards, they stay at the bottom right over here, and then when I do the swing cut, I basically place these cards right over here, and then I still maintain the gap because I need to move the bottom packet to the bottom. So right now Those 3 cards are on the top. 2, 3, 4. Remember the order that I told you. The first card should be on top. The second card should be at the bottom. The third card should be in the center. So we are right now at this position. Now at this point, in order to bring it out, all I have to do is just ask the spectator, make some story, think of your card and visualize that this card is actually changing into your card. And I do that to the first person. So in order to go in the perfect order, that's how the cards need to be ordered right over here. So once I do that, I take a break under the top card, which is the first person's card, and turn this card over, and then pick up 2 cards as one. I can do a shake change. If doing a flick change it's hard for you, you can always do a shake change. Okay, and just make it look like that. Yeah, it's magical, or just something like that this card just changed, the blank card just changed into the first person playing card. So that's the first thing. The second thing that you need to do is change this card into the second person's playing card. But for that, you cannot change it into this next card. You have to change it into the card that's below the next card. So you are going to take a break under the top 2 cards and then place these 2 cards over them. So right now you have a break under the top 4 cards. And you're going to take these 4 cards together as one and shake it with your index finger, turn the cards over. So you're performing a shake change, and what happens here is the second person's card appear. After 2, that's 3, the second person's card appear, and you drop the entire set right over here. So at this point, in order to make the third person's card appear, you have to change the 3 to the 4. So we have to push the 3 forward, and the 4 will be here. So we have to just use our palm in order to hide the 4, bring it out and place it on top of the 3. But if we do it like that, we'll also expose the blank card that's just below all these 2 cards. So this is 3, this is 4. All I have to do is just push this card front and then use my palm to pull the 4 back without exposing the blank card. All I have to do is just push my hand over, just square these cards up and push all the cards behind so that they get squared with the deck, so that no one can see the extra cards that are face up, and it looks like that the card just changed. So it should look a little smooth, somewhat like this. Okay, now at this point I know that the third card is the blank card, and so I'm going to take a break under the top 3 cards, and all I'm going to do is just tell the spectator. So I think I missed this part out, where I say to the second spectator to think of the first spectator's card, and think of their own card and visualize this first spectator's card changing into their own card. We are going to do the same thing with the third spectator. Ask them to visualize, think of their own card and visualize the second spectator's card to that card. And then at the end, all I'm going to do is, after taking a break under the 3 cards, these 3 cards, all I'm going to do is just ask them to, we started with a blank card, and the blank card actually changed into the cards that you were thinking about. So it's all in your head. Nothing here is real. And then all I do is I ask them that to, whatever card you're thinking of right now, just erase those cards from your head. And after saying that, what I do is basically I take these 3 cards together, okay, and I do a triple lift. I turn them all as one, just like that. I do a quick turnover so that nobody can see the thickness, because 3 cards are really thick other than doing a double lift. So I turn them over and I take only the single card, which is already the blank card, and I don't waste much time in the end while I'm saying like drop those cards out of your head or just erase those cards from your head. And whenever I say that, I immediately just turn these cards over and take the top card, which I know is the blank card, and I immediately turn it over, saying that since you erased the cards, this card has also erased back to its original card, which is the blank card from where we started. This is the memory card. It shows the cards that are in your memories, and that's a good way of performing this trick. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this trick, an original trick of mine. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace. Yeah, the dogs are annoying,